Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tavin Dillard. I live in Chancellor Park. I mow lawns, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. I sure am glad to join me here on this podcast. I want to let you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. Now, I started out years ago on the YouTubes and then the TikToks and the Instagrams now and the whatnots. I got the websites, the tavindillard.com, but right now, I want to clue you into what's happening in my neck of the woods on the Tavin Dillard podcast. You here? I'm here. I'm glad you joined me. Now I'm going to send it over to myself. This is like the pre-introduction, but let's get on to the real show today. I'm glad you joined me here. Bank, bank. Hey y'all guys, welcome to Season 8's Episode 5 of the Tavin Dillard Podcast. If you listening to this on the day it comes out, well, you know today's Tuesdays, October's the 24th, and that means Halloween's is around the corner, and you probably all pumpkin spiced out, and you got a pumpkin carved, and you got your house smelling like apple cider donuts. I don't know, but you know, it's the fall times of years, leaves is falling, lots to rake and put together like that away. And me, I am, Tavin Dillard. Of course, we know that by now. Hey, I got a quick announcement, but it's a big announcement, and I wanted to do it quickly. Well, I wanted to do it firstly. I don't know how long this is going to take to announce it, but like early in the podcast today, like right now. Okay, so the link in the show notes. And I know you might be on a tractor right now or somewhere else where you can't get to the show notes, but just know they're waiting for you. There's a link. You can click on that thing and it take you to the giveaway. I did a couple giveaways. This is the biggest one yet. Right now I'm giving away for about a week, so it started and it's still going right now. You can enter every day if you want. I don't care none. Just click on that link. But you saying, Tavin, what am I entering to win for the freeze? You're entering to win two things, and you get them both if you win. One is a bottle of the Tavin's maple syrup from trees. I've been talking about that. But the other thing is brand new, ain't never had it before, beanies, but they not just any beanie. You know, like you put on your head to keep your head warm during the winter's time. Bank beanies. I'm going to say it again. Bank beanies are now available. And if you want to enter to win the giveaway this week, there's a link down there that'll say, hey, giveaway, link thing or something. I'll try to make it more specific, but you know what I mean. You click on that and you can enter, and you enter to win a bottle of that syrup and a bank beanie, and it's going to get sent to you. Now, the other two giveaways I've done already, I told you I'd done two already, and you probably know that if we're pretty good friends, but last month or so, autographed donuts hat, that ended up going to Australia. And then I had a bank mug, and that went to Ohio. So where will the syrup and the bank beanie end up for this giveaway? I do not know. And also, if you just want to buy a bank beanie, then check the link underneath that giveaway link just to go check it out. If you just want to buy it and you don't want to try to win it or whatever, you got that option too. And I'll put those links down there too. So there's the giveaway. Bank beanie and syrup, and then I'll just put the links if you want to buy some of that. There's a link to the syrup, and there'll be a link to the bank beanies. Bank beanies. Say that 10 times fast. You ain't got to. I ain't gonna, just because I want to get on with the show today and our time together. And hayrides, time of year, and of course, crows. Well, I had a time with crows here recently, but it's a love-hate relationship. We're pretty good buddies. I mean, you know how to treat a crow. They smart birds. Yeah, I ain't over here trying to get on the bad side of them. I opened a bag of Funyuns I thought in the trailer park that they just brought in and needed somebody with thumbs to help them. Turned out they dragged it off of JT Whitlow's porch. I don't know why he left a family-sized bag out there. Maybe he's hauling in his groceries and forgot it. I don't know, but I helped out them little fellers and gave them some Funyuns. And I was going to take the rest of the bag when JT stopped me. He's like, hey, buddy, them's my Funyuns. And I was like, oh, sorry, JT, that's on the crows. They didn't tell me they was yours. I just thought they needed some help. And, they was around that bag, and I helped them out. So I made some friends, that was crows, and them crows, they know where the food is. They know where the food is, and you'll find out more about that in a little bit, because I want to tell you what happened in town this week. I hope you're liking the podcast. If you are, you can rate it, and you can leave a comment, and you can also share it with folks, and all of that I appreciate. So I know you busy, but if you got a moment today to do any of that, that's a big help to me. So anyhow, the Halloween's is a bonus. Now, one thing about Halloween's times, and I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I do not like spooky. I ain't trying to be scared. Reason how it come is, I mean, life's hard enough. Well, you don't need somebody jumping around the corner trying to scare you, is the way I see it, you know. I don't need somebody dressed like a clown, you know, like from one of them horror movies. There's a reason that horror movies have a lot of clowns in them. Them things are scary. Scary as one of Memo's baby dolls. So we got a big town fall festival Halloween party next week, but there's stuff going on, you know, leading up to the big day, folks celebrating. And this week, Jasteen Dunlap, she's in charge of, she put together like a hayride, which they've been hayrides before in town. Rickard's grocery store parking lot, they'll put them on. But Jasteen Dunlap was putting on a zombie hayride. Did you hear me? Jasteen Dunlap was putting on a zombie hayride. What in the world does that mean? What do we know about zombies? They like to ride around on hayrides? I'll tell you one thing right now, I do like a good hayride. But I'm a human. I'm a live human, and I like that cold, crisp fall air on me, maybe holding a cup of hot cider or a hot chocolate, and you know, you going out into the country, and you seeing the sights, and feeling the cold on your nose, and thinking, boy, the weather's turning. It's a beautiful time of year. But no, that ain't what this is about. Firstly, this wasn't out in the country somewhere with a beautiful view. This was in Rickard's grocery store parking lot, right off Main Street. It wasn't the first time they did a hayride there. Kevin Rickard, he let her do it there. He gave her permission, but I don't know that he knew the details of what she was trying to do at all. You know, he just said, well, Jasteen wants a hayride. I've done hayrides here before. They thinking they speaking the same hayride language. You know, you say hayride, I say hayride, we got the same thing in our head. Well, not necessarily. That might not be the case. And I don't think it was with old Jasteen and Kevin. So the ones he's had before, you know, you got a little trailer. It could be 12-foot flatbed, you know, where you got some hay bales on it, maybe a little gate on the back to latch so nobody falls out and hits their head on the parking lot, you know, the concrete, which has happened before. So you got, I mean, there's things you got to think about. Is somebody allergic to hay? Well, then they shouldn't be on a hayride. That's the bottom line. But then the other thing you got to think about, okay, they little kids, they got an adult with them. Do they know to hold on, you know, and they ain't going fast, but still, you in a moving thing, and it's easier to fall out of than the bed of a truck, you know, kind of thing when you're on a hayride. You up high on a hay bale, and they had a little latch and a little kind of gated area, like, so you had something to lean against, but still you got to be careful. And they do a lap or two around, maybe a figure eight or whatever, depending on what time of day it was, because if they, you know, when it starts, now when the hayrides start in years before, they'd have, you know, like, Rickard's grocery store was still open. It wasn't closing time yet. So you got folks you got to count for in that parking lot, and you can't just be, you know, cruising willy-nilly through Rickard's grocery store's parking lot. So they do that, and, you know, they have candy, and maybe they hand it out on the hayride, or somebody's passing it off when you drive by them on the hayride. Different ways to do it. But the thing is, I mean, it's like if you go to a big city mall and they got a choo-choo train that run through that mall, you basically just, it's kind of neat to move in a vehicle that you don't usually sit in. I mean, basically that's what we're getting at with the hayride in the grocery store parking lot. Well, Jasteen sure thought it'd be fun, and she decided to, you know, lead out and head up old hayride, a zombie hayride. But as soon as I heard zombies, buddy, I got a problem with it. I'm telling you right now, I'm like, what in the world is that? Are you trying to be scary? You trying to scare me? Like, why can't I just enjoy a hayride? Why we got to make it about zombies or something out to get me, or dead people coming at me? I don't know. So Jasteen's dressing up like a zombie. And a few minutes into it, I mean, it's like the early show, like 4 p.m., you know, she's going for it. Like, in her mind, she got a great idea for the town. It's going to be fun. It's going to get folks excited about fall times. I don't know, like, but I will give Jasteen the benefit of this doubt, which is I doubt she knowed what a mess this is going to be. Like, she thought she's going to do something fun for families and folks in the area. Well, don't act like you dead, because that ain't fun for most folks, Jasteen. So she dressing up like a zombie, and like 4 o'clock, you know, it's just barely started, and Maisley Grubbs and her little brother Perry Lee, they leave Rickard's grocery stores with snacks. Now, I don't know if it's after school snack or what, but old Perry Lee, he little boy was on a t-ball team I helped coach earlier in the year with Russell Tucker. Anyhow, Perry Lee had a box of Milk Duds. You know, you can't sneak up on anybody with a box of Milk Duds. It's impossible. it is truly impossible to sneak up on anybody with a box of Milk Duds. Now, a Milk Duds box, you can sneak up on somebody if there ain't no Milk Duds in it, if it's just a box. But a box of Milk Duds, no luck. Anyway, they see the hayride, that's Perry Lee and Maisley, and they ask their daddy, Shane, you know him and Cheryl, that's his wife, Cheryl Grubbs, they own donut goes in town, you probably know that. Shane, he like a bit of a historian, he liked to do that metal detecting, where you detect for metals, you know, maybe old coins or, you know, rings or things that's metally that people find. But today, he was just, you know, hunting for snacks with his kiddos in Rickard's grocery store, and like I said, Perry Lee had the Milk Duds. And Maisley, she had some more of the sour stuff, you know, like them sour candies, Sour Patch Kid, or like a sour vine, like a rope or whatever, like with the beautiful colors, like a red and green or whatever. So anyhow, they had them snacks, you know, after school snack, big day, you know, it's almost Halloween's, we excited kind of thing. Well, Perry Lee, he run over there to what he sees as a hayride, and then he take one look at Jasteen's face, all zombied up. And he screamed so loud, he spilt his Milk Duds. Jasteen's husband, KC, he about fell out the tractor seat they was sitting on to pull that hayride trailer. So KC, he's got the tractor going, and he pulling that trailer with the hay on it through the parking lot. Jasteen's back there dressed like a zombie, like greeting the kids and helping them on and like sitting with them. Like, who wants that? Well, so far, you had 2 potential customers, and you sent one screaming already, like real loud enough to scare KC up on that tractor seat where he's going to steer the whole hayride around the parking lot. See, the best I can tell, the way she's planning on it, is she was going to be sitting with them kids, and I mean, this is like making it even worse, she's going to be chasing that hayride, you know, as a zombie. And there's no way no kids were supposed to like that. So it didn't take long, though, after Perry Lee, you know, spilt them box of Milk Duds out of fear and out of surprise that Crow came along and helped itself to some of the Milk Duds. I mean, that's insult to injury right there. You got out of school, you having a good day, it falls in the air kind of thing. You get Milk Duds, probably his favorite snack. I don't know, but I'd say he probably liked them enough if that's the ones he chose. And then all of a sudden, you go from that to like, boy, I'm excited, having a good day with my daddy and my sissy, and we going out to this hayride. It's right outside the doors here in the grocery store. Oh, and it's going to be so much fun. Then you run over there and you scare it to death, and then you drop your snacks on top of it, and then doubly on top of it, a crow starts in on the Milk Duds that got fallen on the ground. Crows know. I tell you right now, crows know when the food gets dropped. I mean, you think about the other day in Chancellor Park, they must know what they like, what it looks like, too, because them Funyuns, there wasn't no stink out of them, there wasn't no smell, there wasn't no scent. It was a sealed, family-sized bag of Funyuns, but I think them crows can read, and they said, we had them before, we got to get this, so they dragged it to the middle of the trailer park, and then I picked out that broken row of mini blinds in my trailer, and I said, boy, they having a conference out there, some sort of party they didn't invite me to, and betwixt them all was that Funyun bag that I helped them open. And, you know, all of a sudden, it was a crow. I mean, we was all having a good time till we realized that J.T. Whitlow, you know, he'd paid money for them. Like, I didn't think too far of where them crows got it. I guess I figured they smart enough to where somebody spent a little bit of their own paycheck, their crow paycheck money. I didn't go to school for crows. I don't know about crowology, but I didn't think that far. Like, how did that crow get that bag of Funyuns? All I know is, hey, that crow, they got a big old bag of Funyuns. They need help opening it. If I open it, I can pay myself in Funyuns kind of thing. Well, anyhow, that don't matter no how right now, because there's a crow steady munching on Milk Duds that Perry Lee Grubbs dropped because he's scared of a zombie, which is really Jasteen Dunlap, in the parking lot of Rickard's grocery store. Well, them kids were hating it. And Cheryl's over there. She I guess she was with them all too. I just seen Shane leave with the kiddos, and I thought, well, Cheryl must be down at Donut Goes, but she must have had someone else working, because she came out of Rickard's a little after they did. Tried to calm her babies down, but they wasn't going to do it. Like she said, that's just Jasteen. Y'all know her. It's okay. It's going to be a fun hayride. Like, they was so excited about the hayride, she didn't want it to die on them. But Perry Lee, he's so scared he couldn't do it. I told Jasteen, I said, you ain't got to be spooky, Jasteen, to have a fun Halloween's. Like, you ain't got to be spooky. Look at these kids. You done shook them up. And, I mean, I don't know how much of them Milk Duds got spilt, but I know, you know, they paid real money for them inside Rickard's. So then all of a sudden, they getting calmed down, but bottom line is the Grubbs kids weren't having it. So if your goal, Jasteen, was to have kids on the hayride, you off to a bad start, is the way I see it. You off to a bad start. Well, Delma Spencer's kids seen it, and they always kind of hover around the grocery store, different places where maybe somebody will give them money or food, or I don't know. I don't know Delma's plan. You talk to her, she say, I don't ask for no money or no food. Well, indirectly, I mean, you put your little kid's bloody stubby teeth in the freezer section of the store, telling your kids, oh, that's where the tooth fairy lives. Throw them toward the ice cream section, and then when Kevin Rickard finds them and throws up in the frozen section, and he had to clean that, then he gets all them stubby, bloody teeth and say, don't ever bring them back. And in exchange for you not bringing them back, he give you free ice cream. That tells me that maybe you is looking for free food. I can't still believe he made that deal. I mean, I think it's sending the wrong message. Oh, you threw bloody teeth in the freezer section because you told your kids the tooth fairy lives there and they might get free ice cream? Okay, here's some free ice cream. But that's a story for a different day. Actually, that was a story for another. I told that story when it happened, a while back on the podcast, but I don't want to beat a dead horse or kick a bloody tooth, as they say. But anyhow, Delma's kids, they all excited, but they didn't have no money to get on the hayride. I don't know what Jasteen was charging. I didn't know it was, but I guess you look at it a little bit, you say, well, I guess it's a moneymaker for, whatever she's doing at her farm, or I don't know. But maybe $1 or $2, but it doesn't matter what the price was. Delma didn't have money, but they wanted to go. Them kids, they ain't scared of nothing. They'd look a zombie in the eye and just laugh, kind of thing. Well, Jasteen figured maybe she can do her makeup into something else. Like, let me take a little break here, let me go think about this. It's not like there's a line around the block trying to get on this hayride, so she had time to go figure this out. So she thought, well, what can I do to not look like a zombie, but still, be part of this festivity? And so she decided to be I was hoping she wasn't going to be a clown, because if she said clown, I was like, that ain't no better than a zombie. It's just as scary. So she didn't do that. She did a scarecrow. She put on a straw hat, plenty of hay on that hayride to pick from, So she managed to where it's like, okay, I could, from a distance, that'd be a scarecrow. You get up close, she still got that dark makeup around her eyes, and her face is painted kind of white. So it's like, I mean, definitely scarecrow. Now, are you going to scare any crows with it? Well, let's find out. Word travels fast, though, in town if something's scary. And so folks say, don't go to that hayride. It's some sort of hayride Jasteen Dunlap put together, and her husband KC's working a tractor in Rickard's grocery store parking lot. Don't even wait. Don't even bother with it. Don't even do it. Just wait till next week when we got all the Halloween festivities. We might have something better then, but this is like a warm-up, and might as well skip it kind of thing. Well, that's the word that's traveling around. But word traveled just as fast that it wasn't scary no more. Like, oh, you can go ahead down there now. It's just a scarecrow. Get on down there, because kids seen it and wanted to go. And from distance, you don't know it's a zombie hayride. But now, it ain't a zombie hayride. Funny thing is, she wasn't a good scarecrow, y'all guys. Because them crows, they was not scared. Kids dropping candy, so they start filling up these hayrides now that there's a scarecrow doing it, and they going around the little parking lot. Somebody had candy corn, just a naked bag of candy corn, like it wasn't in a bag with M&Ms or something else. Like, I feel like if you go eating candy corn, you got to put it with some other stuff. But some kids had sugar daddies, candy corn, sweet tarts, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, milk duds, all them kind of things. And it's a crow party now. Kids dropping candy and snacks on that hayride trailer bed, and them crows steady flying over like, bank, bank, don't mind if I do. And so they loving it. Boy, I'm telling you, if Jasteen ain't got any kid fans, she got a bunch of crow fans like, hey, when you going to do a next hayride in the parking lot? And that's how it went. I mean, KC, he did some laps around that parking lot. I don't know how many, and of course it got real busy once it was nighttime, because night times in the falls, like I said, people getting their sweaters out, them turtlenecks out, all them things, where they've been waiting for this weather. Oh, I'm ready to wear that old sweatshirt or that old jacket. And Meemaw, she got flannel moo-moos kind of thing, but she really in them crease britches right now. She wasn't going to do a hayride though. She's busy getting these baby dolls ready, for the Halloween. She's thinking, oh, maybe I'll get them all in little costumes and dress them up, maybe scary. I'm like, Meemaw, every single one of them baby dolls is already scary. You ain't got to do nothing to them. And so she down there, I mean, she just spent a lot of time in Chancellor Park right now getting ready for the fall, thinking how she going to do things. And I just hope she leaves them baby dolls alone. Like she had a parade, you know, a week or two back down to Early Bird Gets the Perm with all them, and that almost turned into a fight with Mabel Childress. So I'm thinking, just don't. If they so important to you, if the baby dolls are so important to you, last thing you want to do is take them out in public when there's gals like Mabel Childress that might start a fight with one. I mean, she had her Chatty Cathy doll headbutt Rachel Christine. So you can't tell me that was a win, Meemaw. So Meemaw ain't gonna get down there, but the kids did. You know, folks get down there in their little fall outfits, and Cheryl Grubbs, she kind of started putting 2 and 3 together and say, hey, you know what? We got hot cider that we make down at Donut Goes. We got hot chocolate, and she got card table, made 1 or 2 card tables, and she talked to Kevin Ricker. He's like, fine, go for it, and Cheryl. She set a couple of card tables, a little box or 2 of donuts. She's selling donuts down there, and she was selling the cider and a hot chocolate. Boy, that's a perfect thing for a hayride. That's a perfect thing for a hayride. And boy, if she wasn't friends with crows before, she sure was after, because them crows was like, bank, bank. I know for sure if you sell that to a kid. Now, I don't know. Like, I ain't in the mind of a crow. I don't know if that's how they sound when they talk. I know they ain't got lips. Them crows got beaks. But the way it is they thinking, boy, them kiddos you selling donuts to, they going to pick off pieces. They going to drop pieces. And we going to be there to pick up the pieces, as they say. Well, we going to make things all better, you know. Making things fall festively, too, with the crows. And the crows, you know, they add to it. I mean, if you're on a hayride in a parking lot, and then all of a sudden it's cold and you got hot chocolate or whatever, and then there's crows cawing overhead like caw caw, and then they diving and getting milk duds off the ground, you feel like you kind of in a Halloween story without having a zombie chase you or a zombie sit next to you on a hayride kind of thing. So I'll tell you, I mean, you want to talk about getting lemons and making lemonade, or getting crows and having a donut party, it turned out pretty good. You know, for what it started out being with Perry Lee Grubbs and Maisley just scared of a zombie. And then at the end, it felt like that's probably what Jasteen was going for in the end. I mean, you think about families coming out, having a good time, enjoying the weather, enjoying a little hayride, just seeing each other, celebrating the season, having a little hot cider, hot chocolate, that kind of thing. So in that way, it was a pretty big deal. And by that time, once it got nighttime, you know, Rickards was closed, so the whole parking lot was open, and you ain't trying to watch out for cars or shopping carts or people or that kind of thing. So that wasn't a bad thing either. It ended up being pretty good. Now, I don't know who was in charge, probably Casey and Jasteen. They had to sweep up, you know, the parking lot. I mean, the good news for them is they had a work crew called like a herd of crows. What they call them, a murder of crows. Who came up with that? A murder of crows. Anyways, you know, that's a group of crows. They basically the janitors of the hayride, the way I see it. But it was a good one. It was a good one for sure. Was it a hayride? Indeed. Was it a zombie hayride? No. No, it was not. So now we all getting ready for the town festivities next week. Like I said, Meemaw, she don't dress up for Halloweens, but them baby dolls might, is what she's saying. And I'm thinking, they scary enough, Meemaw. But, you know, I can say things once, but I don't need to get into it and say it twice to her. If she got her plans, basically what I do is get out the way. And I got to make my own plans, because if I have my own plans, I can't be doing things like toting a bunch of baby dolls uptown in Meemaw's 91 Buick Regal for her to show off at some sort of event, you know, at the nursing home or city hall or wherever they doing things, or wherever her friends and gals, you know, Tabby Jean Tipton might have a party out on her property. I don't know what the plan is, and I ain't really trying to nose around and find out what they plans is, because I'm hoping to do something with Cricket and my buddies, you know, for the Halloweens. I don't know exactly what yet, but I got time to figure that out, and you do too, to figure out what you're going to be doing. So Cricket likes to dress up, and I don't know what she into this week. I could just borrow her granddaddy's hunting outfit and go as a hunter. You know, I wasn't really dressed for the hunting trip we took last week, but I guess if I get a little orange vest and an orange hat and some mittens kind of thing, I'll be good to go. But I don't know if I want to do that. You know, it's just something I just now thought of as you and me was talking, but I ain't for sure. So we got a lot going on. I mean, it's been a busy week, but I mean, you think that last week folks is buying up all the candies, they gonna do the trick-or-treating. I don't know anybody that really does tricks. There was one lady, a couple folks in town over the years, Millie Ricks is one of them, who has a jar of change and has the kids just with one hand grab as much change as you can and put it in your bag. And boy, them kids, boy, that's where the greedy shows up. You know, they can't let go of that thing because they see a penny dropping out and they're like, well, I'm going to lose that penny. But like, well, you got a handful of change if you just pull it out there, or just drop it and go for the Kit Kat. I don't know. But, you know, you start giving kids choices and they'll stay there just bank, just steady looking at you like, I wasn't expecting this. I just hold out my bag and you drop it in there. But Millie Ricks, boy, she a little bit of a prankster, but she also just, you know, that ain't really a prank, but it do stump some people. It is a little bit of a trick. I would say that. I would say that it is a little bit of a trick. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, or hearing me next week, because this is like a radio show, the Tavin Dillard podcast. That's what you're listening to today. And you joined me on it, and I appreciate it. Now, like I said, it's busy. There's probably a new shirt coming out soon, too, I want to talk to y'all about. Working on a couple ones. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know if they're going to be ready this week. One is the peg leg possum. And I had a dream, you know, with a possum with a peg leg trying to collect shortbread cookies outside Rickard's grocery store a couple weeks back. Now you can check out that possum dream, you know, on the Instagrams or the Facebooks or the YouTubes or the TikToks. But that may be a shirt. And I also got a crow with a funyun on a shirt that may be coming out soon. So we're working on some stuff just to celebrate the season, and I guess celebrate peg leg possums. I don't know, but keep an eye out for that stuff. But today in the show notes, look for that giveaway. Go ahead and make sure you enter that giveaway. And if you just want to buy some syrup, there's a link for that. If you want to buy the Bank Beanie, there's a link for that. Check all that out today. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week, to you and yours. Check them show notes for everything that's going on. And hey, if you ain't dropped your milk duds in the Rickard's grocery store parking lot after you seen Jasteen Dunlap dressed like a zombie and then a crow swooped down and helped itself to that candy, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.